Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Gateway to Grace call. My name's Elizabeth Tobin, and I do these calls the first Monday of each month. So it's great to see everybody here. And we've been following a theme this year about relationships. And I had an interesting conversation last week with a colleague of mine. And she was telling me that she was not really satisfied in her work because she had a very kind of distressing text from a client. She said that she had this client that just like decided not to pay her, just wasn't going to follow through with their agreement. And she had already done the work, and now it was time for the client to pay. And the client was like, sorry, I don't have the money, I can't pay you. And so she told me that this has been a pattern in her business where she's working really hard, she's not reaping the benefits, and she's still struggling to pay her bills, and she's just not seeing the income that she wants. And she keeps on attracting clients who don't hold up their end of the bargain, and she feels totally drained. And she even said that she felt like she had aged so much in the last year working in her business, and it's starting to affect her health. So this is a real problem for her. And so I asked her, well, do you see this pattern in your intimate romantic relationships? And she told me that she gave up on those years ago because she kept attracting people who drained her, that she got tired of giving and not getting anything back, and it just didn't serve her, so she just gave up. And so I asked her, well, what would you want in an intimate partner relationship? And she kind of got really quiet and said, well, what I'd really want is someone that I can trust, someone who reciprocates and gives back, somebody who holds up their end of the relationship. And when I pointed out to her that basically she's repeating the same pattern in her business relationship with her clients that she had in her romantic relationships, the light bulb really went off for her. And so obviously, I told her that, the way that you get supported and nurtured in your work is by having clients who hold up their end of the bargain and who actually pay you. That's the reciprocity. And so this lack of reciprocity, it's the same pattern, regardless of whether it's in the work relationship or in the romantic relationship. And she said, there's just something hidden from my view. I know where it's coming from. She says, I know I keep doing it, and I keep falling into this same trap of I'm not good enough, and I have to overgive, and I have the same trap of, people just don't reciprocate with me. And so I asked her, I said, would you like me to tell you what I'm seeing here? And she says, oh, yes, please. And I said, well, over the years, I've seen this a lot in my work. I've seen that, people give up on having personal relationships because of pain and past disappointment, and they don't want to repeat the same pattern. So they give up on that, and then they focus on their work, but then they repeat the same patterns that they're trying to avoid in their personal relationships. The patterns now show up in their work relationship. They feel unsupported, they feel burdened, they're overworked, and they keep attracting clients who don't follow through, who don't reciprocate, who don't keep their end of the agreement. And so what's really going on here? She thinks, my colleague, she thought it was a money problem. but it's really a relationship pattern that's causing these money issues in her business. And the underlying pattern is her fire is out. There's nothing feeding the fire of her passion. And so fire, it's all about relationship, warmth, connection, the joy that we get from interacting in healthy ways with other human beings. That's what feeds the fire, that feeds the passion. So fire is all about passion, joy, connection, relationship. And so she's lost the passion in her work because she's not feeding her fire with healthy human connection. And what's more, the fire is about the heart connection. And when your heart is closed and protected because of past relationship disappointments, this woman had closed herself off from relationship. She doesn't feel safe in relationship. And so her heart is closed and protected, right? That's not a very magnetic state to attract anything that we want, including our dream clients, fulfilling work, money, whether your heart is protected because of a relationship, a past relationship, it really doesn't matter because we're holographic beings, right? So closing your heart in one area, your heart's still closed. It's really hard to then attract what you want in another area of your life. So here's the thing. If you have a pattern of being hurt or disappointed in relationship, you can try to avoid relationships and focus on your work. But again, because we're holographic beings, that pattern is going to show up in another area of your life. It's like you can't avoid it. You've got to address it, whether it's in your personal life and you try to avoid it there, it'll just show up in your business life and vice versa, right? Because you can't avoid it in one area of your life and think, okay, I've closed the door on that. I'm not going to experience that anymore. No, it's going to show up somewhere else in your life because it's wanting attention. So for her, she gave up on the romantic relationship. She focused on her work, and now she's repeating that same pattern that she experienced in the romantic relationship. It's in her work now. It's not a relationship issue. It's not a money issue. It's a relationship issue masquerading as a money issue now. And so I've been hearing from a lot of people who feel lonely or isolated because they feel that either others can't relate to them or they've been hurt in the past and they don't want to open up to people. And avoiding relationship is not the answer. Social isolation just leads to feeling lonely. It puts out the fire of your passion. And without any fire, life gets really hard. It feels really hard. It feels like a struggle. It feels like, we have to do it all ourselves. There's no reciprocity. And remaining stuck in a protective trauma response isn't the answer. It just makes us feel even more disconnected. And this puts out our fire even more. So when life feels like a struggle, you need to feed your fire with the joy of human connection, with the warmth of human connection. And that's what sparks your passion, whether it's your passion for a hobby or for your work, or passion for life in general, or even passion in relationship. The fire is the key. And so this is why this month I'm starting a new group, and it's for people who would like to have an intimate partner relationship and who don't want to repeat the same patterns as their last relationship. And it's going to be a Zoom group. So it's not a proxy group. We'll meet on Zoom. It's a small group. There'll be a maximum of 6 people in the group. And it's designed to reignite the fire of relationship, so that fire can then feed your passion for life, your passion for connection, warmth, joy. And you can bring that passion into your relationships, into your work, into your projects. And the group is all about receiving support so that you feel safe, connecting, reigniting the passion. And so when you have this kind of support, what's wanting to emerge in your relationships feels possible, doable, and achievable. And that also carries over into the rest of your life. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to continue on with this theme of relationship. Oh, and I just want to say one more thing before we move into the repatterning today. So the group is starting this month. And if you're interested, if you're curious, you can reach out to me and we can set up a time to talk. You can get out your calendar. I'll stay on the call afterwards. We can set up a time, or you can email me at et@liztobin.com. Okay. Good. So could any of you relate to what I was talking about in terms of these, sometimes these money issues or work issues often masquerade as relationship issues? Anybody relate to that? You can just raise your hand. Leanne says, yeah, she can relate. Anybody else? Annette says, yeah, she can relate. Yeah. Janine says, yeah, she's relating. Jax, yeah, great, good. So Carol says, yep, indeed, she can relate. Good. Yeah, so let's see where we're going to go today with this theme of relationship, and see what other patterns might be masquerading. We think it's related to one thing, and then we see, oh, wait a minute, this could be another issue. This could be related to my relationships, related to the state of my fire, or could be related because I don't feel safe in relationship, the earth element, or it could be something around, I don't feel worthy to receive the mutual support, the metal element. So let's, we're going to go today. Okay. Yeah, so just take a little pause. And so the best way to approach today is to do the seed of transformation. Yeah, so we're going to focus on one person who's going to be sort of the voice of the group. So everybody in the group will be receiving the benefit of the session, and one person will be the focus to bring up these patterns that are common to everybody in the group. And so if you would like to be in the seat of transformation, you can raise your hand. Let's see. Good. So we've got a few people here. So I'm just going to check to see. So keep your hands raised, and I'm going to just check to see who would be the best person at this time to be the voice of the group, with the idea that we want to support everybody in the group into moving into a higher state of energy and well-being and coherence around this. So let's see. So it's Janine, it's Jax. Yeah, Jax, it's you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you, Jax, to unmute yourself. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Liz.
Okay, great. I can hear you too. Beautiful. Good. So, yeah. So let's take a little pause, okay? I'm just going to see here. So what is it? Oh, where did you go?
Liz,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
said she cannot because she's at work.
That's Jack.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Jax, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're good. Great. Okay, good. I'm just gonna so what is it about what I put out there that sort of spoke to you? What is it that's going on with you?
So 2 months ago, I came out of a relationship. It was a long distance relationship with a man who didn't show up for me. When it was time for him to come and visit, he didn't show up. So I was also experiencing the same thing at work in terms of support. The woman who was supporting me on my website just flaked or disappeared. And then also friendships. I find that friends don't show up for me. They project their stuff onto me.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can see this pattern playing out in your work, in your intimate partner relationships, and in your friend relationships, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's see where we need to go. And I forgot to ask you, have you been on the calls before?
I haven't been live, but I've watched a few of them. So I have proxied in on a few of the relationship calls.
Okay, great. So you know sort of what the format is here. So
Yeah.
great. I'm glad you mentioned watching recordings.
There's so
And,
much work to do.
um,
Where's the glass?
So I'm glad you mentioned about the recordings, because as people watch this recording, you can also be included in the session. And I had a number of people who said they couldn't be on the call today and asked to be included, be proxied in as we're doing the session. So great. So I'm just going to ask you some questions here and we'll see where we need to go. Okay. So at this time, we need to look at something from orientation, problems into opportunities. There's a specific repatterning we need to focus on. And I'm just going to check to see what the repatterning is. And it's something from part B. Okay. So we're going to look at the compensation repatterning today. So I think that this is going to be very appropriate here, because when we don't get our needs met in the way that we need them to be met as young children, we move into these compensations as a way to sort of work around the problem. And then what happens is these compensations, after a while, they work okay, and then they don't work okay. And then as adults, they start to cause problems. So let me just go to that repatterning here. Okay. So there's anything more we need to hear from the introduction? Yeah, okay. So there's something from here. And so it says that when unconditional love is perceived as being absent, or when our life needs are not met in the way that we need them to be met, then we unconsciously develop these limiting beliefs about ourselves, others and life. And without attention, whether it's positive or negative, there is no survival. As infants and children, we need attention. And I would even venture to say, as adults, we need attention, because there is no survival without the human connection. We're hardwired for human connection. And oftentimes we reach a point in our life where it feels like such a struggle that we just say, forget it. I'm done with relationships, whether it's I'm done with friendships or intimate partners, or maybe like I need to find a new job because this one's not working, right? It's relationships that are really at the heart of everything. We're always in relationship. So these compensations are an unconscious way for us to try to receive attention and unconditional love. And like I said, at some point, these compensations stop working for us. They cause more problems than solutions. Oh, I'm gonna see here. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me, Jax?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because my computer is like frozen. Okay, good. All right, so let's see where we need to go here. So in terms of this repatterning, so it sounds like the problem that you are talking about that's common to your relationships is that people don't show up for you. Would you say that's it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's. And there's something more about that we need to look at. No, okay. So say people don't show up for me.
People don't show up for me.
Yeah, and you're resonating with that. And so as a group, we're all resonating with that. And, you know, you can think about like where in your life, speaking to the rest of the group here, where in your life do you notice this pattern of people don't show up for you? So now there's a compensation that we need to look at. And I'm just going to check to see the compensation is something from an under assertive compensation. Yes. Okay. So it's something from 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 6, 7. So there's an aspect of denial that we need to look at here. And so in denial, we make it through our childhood pain by forgetting, numbing, or denying certain memories. And this denial compensation is at the cost of fully experiencing joy, aliveness, and connection in the present. So you could, you know, sit with that a moment and just, you know, notice what comes up for you. I mean, I know for myself, my mother passed away when I was 5 years old, and I don't really even remember her. And so I'm thinking, okay, there's an aspect of denial in there, right? That I forgot. I don't remember her. Yeah.
So I think I forget everything. People will speak to me and I don't retain the information. I don't recall memories. So I live very present in the present moment, but I don't, unless I consciously go back and try and recall memories, I don't remember the good or the bad.
Okay. Yeah. So that's It's hard to, connect with people when you're not really present. Right.
Mhm.
So, so it's almost like you're not showing up either,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So let's see what we need here. It's the first, it's the second. So that's a survival response. So say, if I blank out and forget, I will survive.
If I blank out and forget, I will survive.
Even if I lose my sense of joy.
Even if I lose my sense of joy
And the motivation
and the motivation
to live fully and powerfully in the present.
to live fully and powerfully in the present.
Yeah, and we're resonating with that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. Yeah. Yeah. So just take a little pause and sit with that a moment. Yeah. And what do you notice in your body? What's coming up for you?
Well, there's something around breathing. So that's in my body. But what's interesting is my father doesn't remember things either. So I'm just wondering if it's not a generational pattern.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So this could be something that you inherited through him.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's quite common because as children, we need to sync up our energy with our parents in order to survive. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's definitely the breath. That's and just feeling more spaciousness, just with that awareness. I think more spaciousness and sort of it's rising up.
Mhm. Okay. Good. Yeah.
And sitting in the heart, actually, like the constriction in the heart.
Uh-huh. And can you feel a constriction in your heart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to check. We need to do an energy constriction release. Yeah. So we're going to release that constriction there in your heart. Yeah. So I just want you to just very gently breathe in and out through your nose. And just look at me. So you want to keep present, right? In the present. Yeah. So just breathing in and out, centering within yourself. And everybody else, you can do this as well. You can follow along. Just keep your eyes open so that you're staying in present time. Breathing in and out through your nose as gently as you can. And I'm going to check to see where the energy is constricted. And so it's constricted in the heart. That's where we need to focus. Yes. Okay. And a contact's needed there. It's with the right hand. Yeah. So put your right hand right on your heart center. And everybody else, you can do this as well. Yeah. And the energy needs to flow into the heart. It needs to flow out from. So as you're breathing out, imagine just sending the energy and the breath right out through your chest, right out through your heart. Yeah. Breathing in and out through your nose. And put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And that'll help you to just sort of calm down and land in your body even a little bit more. And I'm just going to reach out, and it's going to be just as if I'm touching you right there on your left arm, Jax. Okay? Just to give you a little bit more grounding. Good. Just breathing out from your heart area. And so there's a feeling that got stuck there, that's constricting. You're feeling that tightness in your heart. There's a feeling there. And the feeling that we need to focus on, I'm just going to go down a list of options here. It's something from 1 through 5. It is. It's number 1. It's number 2. Yeah, so there's some sadness there. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes just even naming the feeling can bring a little bit of opening, a little bit of relief. And so as you check in with your body, Jax, what body sensation lets you know that you're feeling sad?
It's in the throat, actually.
Yeah.
And then also just wanting, the tears want to flow. So
Yeah. And what do you notice in your throat? Is it tightness or?
it was a little bit painful and tight, yeah.
Ah, painful. Okay. Yeah. 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 And the tears. Yeah. And so what color do you imagine is the color of that sadness?
That's a dark gray.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so now as you're breathing out, just breathe out that dark gray right out through your chest, breathing it out with the sadness. Yeah. Just breathing out that dark gray with the sadness there. And there was an earlier age when you felt sad. And I'm going to check to see what age we need to focus on. So the age is 10 years old or younger. Yes. Younger than 5? No. 5, 6. So it's as a 6-year-old. Okay. And right now, it's not as important to try to remember what was going on then. It's just enough to know that even at age 6, you were feeling sad. And there's somebody that you needed to communicate that feeling to. And I'm going to check to see who that might have been. Okay. And so this was a parent, and it was your mother. Actually, it was your father. Yeah. And was he in your life at that time when you were 6?
He was in my life, but very absent,
Ah,
emotionally absent,
uh-huh.
physically present, but emotionally absent.
Yeah. So he wasn't showing up for you in the way that you wanted, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so if as that little 6-year-old, if you could have told your father that you were feeling sad, if he was the ideal father who could have really responded to you in the way that you needed, what would you have wanted him to say to you that could have made everything all right?
I'm here with you, and I want to spend time doing things with you because I love you
Yeah. Yeah.
and I enjoy spending time with you. I want to spend time with you.
Yeah. Good. Good.
And have fun together.
Yeah. So we're going to create the space to give you what you didn't get back then. We're going to give that to you now. Yeah. And so I'm going to stand in for your father and say those words to you. Okay. And so tell me, as if I was your father, that you're feeling sad.
Dad, I'm feeling sad and lonely.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. And I want to spend time with you. I want to spend time doing things together with you because I love you. I want to have fun with you. I enjoy being with you. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just going to check. There's something more you needed to hear. No, we just need to hear that again. Yeah. Yeah. And so again, tell me as if I was your father that you're feeling sad.
Dad, I feel sad and lonely.
Yeah. I'm here for you. And I want to spend time with you because I love you. And I want to be with you and do things with you and have fun. Yeah. I'm here for you and I want to be here for you. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Nice. And so what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes and connect in with your body. And just allow your body to move in any way that it wants, because your body knows how to move to release that tension and constriction from that sadness. And yeah, everybody else, you can do this too. Just follow along. Ah. 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 And there's some sound that's needed too. Ah. Ah, ah,
Ah,
ah,
ah.
ah. Good.
Ah.
Yeah. And now what I want you to do is just kind of take your arms and yeah, sort of very gently, just kind of move your wrists, your fingers. Good. Yeah. So the throat chakra is related to the joints, and you can open your throat by just very gently moving the wrists, the fingers. Yeah. Good. And then just bring your attention down, wiggle your toes a little bit, sort of grounding that energy down, just creating more space in the body to hold that sadness, right? Good. Yeah. Good. So good. That's complete. And now just take a little pause and just let that integrate. Good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. And what did you need as that little 6-year-old who was feeling sad?
Love and attention.
Yeah. 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 And again, a need. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like affection, like physical touch, physical affection, hugs,
Mm.
to be held. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you could have been held, what would that have given you?
Warmth, safety, connection,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Right.
affection, a feeling of affection.
Hmm. Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah. And so again, a need that goes unmet is still a need in the present. Yeah. So bring that right into the present. Say, I need love and attention.
I need love and attention,
Yeah.
connection and affection.
Yeah. I need to feel safe.
I need to feel safe.
I need warmth.
I need warmth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I hear you. Absolutely. Yeah. And so close your eyes. And what image or symbol comes to mind that represents having that love and attention, feeling that safety, the warmth and connection, the affection?
The teddy bear.
A teddy bear. Yeah. And what color is the teddy bear?
It's a brown bear.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And is it wearing anything?
It's got a red bow around its neck.
Very nice, with a red bow around its neck. Yeah, good. And so everybody else following along, you can also get your own image or symbol that represents what you needed as that 6-year-old. Yeah. And so what I'd like you to do is take that image, that teddy bear, that brown bear with the cute little red bow, and what that represents, having that warmth, that love, attention, affection, and feeling safe, being able to receive it. And integrate that right into your heart chakra, right into your heart. And really feel that safety, that connection, the love, the attention, the warmth. Good, great, good. And how does that feel?
Feels good.
Good, good, excellent, good. So this energy constriction release is complete. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So now we're going to see, we need to look at the positive aspect of the compensation. So instead of this denial, we need to look to see what's needed, okay? So we've released the sadness, we've imprinted a new pattern of feeling safe, being able to connect, receive the love and the warmth, affection. Yeah. So now what we need to look at is something from the positive aspect. And I'm just checking to see here. It's something from here. Yeah. So it's from 1 through 5, 6 through 10. It's 11. So we need to look at the denial. No, so actually the denial is not where we need to go. It's this piece about achievement and power, right? So it's the first part. It's the second part. Yeah. So it's being loved for who you are, regardless of what you accomplish or do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could really feel the ease that that opens up. So you don't have to work so hard, a struggle,
Yeah.
get the reciprocity, right? To have people show up and follow through, right? You just be yourself, just be, right? So say, I am loved just for who I am.
I am loved just for who I am.
Whatever I do or do not do.
Whatever I do or do not do.
Yeah. And so we're not resonating with that right now. So we're going to switch that on. Okay. And so the modality that we need at this time is something from Spiral Up. Yeah. So we're going to do something to make an input of energy into your system, Jax, but into the group field as well for everybody. So whether you're listening live here or you're on listening to the recording, this is going to shift this pattern. So what's needed is something from A, B. So we're going to work with some sound. And it's something here from 1 through 5, 6 through 10. It's number 6. We're going to do these harmonic overtones, okay? So, these are these harmonic overtones are really powerful to clear the whole energy field. And sound is a very effective modality to break up stagnant patterns. Okay. So what, and I'm gonna demonstrate this because these are a little bit hard to do. I actually took like a whole 3-day workshop to learn how to do these. So so this is where the power of the group energy really comes in handy to support us all in shifting these patterns as we do this modality. We don't have to do it perfectly. We're just going to do it the best we can. And the group energy is going to really support us here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to use vowel sounds of oo, or, ah, eh, e. And those relate to the 5 lower chakras. And you kind of hollow out the back of your throat as if you had a golf ball there. And you're going to breathe in and you kind of move your tongue to make the sound. You don't really move your lips very much. And I'm just going to demonstrate. Good, that's complete. So we'll just take a pause and let that integrate. And I feel like my lips are kind of twitching. I could really feel the energy like buzzing inside. Yeah, good, good. So we're going to go back now and recheck the statements, okay? Okay. So say, people don't show up for me.
People don't show up for me.
Yeah, and that's not resonating. That is switched off. Yeah. How did that feel when you said it?
Yeah, I'm not resonating with it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So it just didn't have the emotional charge for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Say, if I blank out and forget, I'll survive.
If I blank out and forget, I'll survive.
Even if I lose my sense of joy
Even if I lose my sense of joy
and the motivation to fully and powerfully live in the present.
and the motivation to fully and powerfully live in the present.
Good. And that's off. So don't have to blank out and forget and not be present. You can be present, right? Because what happens is when we don't get what we need, you know, that little 6-year-old part of you said, well, why should I show up, right? It's hard to be here. So dissociate is easier than being in the pain of not getting the attention I need.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, so we cut ourselves off. So this is about reconnecting back into that part of you, that 6-year-old part that wanted to disconnect from the pain. Yeah. Yeah. So say, I am loved just for who I am.
I am loved just for who I am.
Whatever I do or do not do.
Whatever I do or do not do.
Yeah. And that's nice and strong. Yeah. So you can just receive love just for who you are, just for being. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. So take a little pause. Yeah. And what do you think is possible for you now?
To just show up present um, to people, places, work, creations, adventures.
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can really feel the fire of that, the joy of, the exploration, the creation, the pleasure in creation, just showing up for adventure, right?
Yeah,
Like life being an adventure.
yeah. And
Yeah,
work being an adventure. So every piece I write is an adventure, a discovery. Or every video I create is an exploration.
yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. And so that's the passion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to bring more passion. Wonderful, wonderful. Good. And what do you imagine is possible for you now in your relationships?
Well, sort of more fulfilling friendships, more impactful work, client, like work relationships, more honest relationships, and being open to love, a love relationship.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's beautiful. Great. So I'm just going to check. There's anything more that's needed from the session? No, the session is complete. Yeah, yeah, good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very good, very well. I've
Good.
never yawned so much in a session before.
Right? Releasing. Wonderful, wonderful. Great. Well, thank you so much for volunteering to sit in the seat of transformation, to be the voice of the group. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity to experience your elegant and masterful facilitation. Yeah.
Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Good.
And for the group, for the
Yes.
group constellation. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. The group is a really important piece because we get wounded in relationship and we get healed in relationship. And so with the support of the group to hold us, it's a lot easier to do this work. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Good. So what is your biggest takeaway? Anybody want to share? We heard from Jax. What's anybody else have a takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from today?
Being loved, whatever you do or do not do, because I'm still having challenges with people not being happy or supportive with my life decision. And it really makes me question what's the relationship? It seems to me that that's unhealthy.
Mm.
And I guess coming up with, when you raise your vibration more and more, having to accept that things shift with people, which I find hard, difficult.
Yeah, and sometimes what happens is people will shift with us. They can entrain up to you. So for the people that are having difficulty accepting your life choices, if you can hold them in that space of compassion, like, yeah, it's a change for them as well as for you, and to have compassion for how they're feeling without feeling like you have to fix it, like it's your responsibility. That might make it easier for them to get used to get on board with your new situation.
I guess I have to hold them, but it's like with me saying you're not being supportive, I'm becoming the bad guy when I've experienced they're holding out and from me for like 9 months. So it feels like I'm being made the bad guy speaking up. And I
Yeah.
think that people are going to experience this as they raise their vibration. Sometimes less said is better.
I think also you're in a new place, right? You've made the move. You're in your new home, your new community. And yes, there is, you want to maintain connection with your old friends, but right now, maybe it's a time to give them space and you space, so that you're not looking for support from them. What you're focused on is making the new connections in your new community. Maybe give them a little bit of a timeout. Not cutting the relationship off, but also focusing your energy on establishing yourself in your new place. And your new relationships.
Yeah. Well, it just seems important to establish how you're going to stay in touch. Because it feels, I know, I hear what you're saying, but you don't stay in touch for a month and then people think, oh, that's fine.
Well, and the other thing that can happen is, as you raise your vibration, the people that weren't a match for you to begin with,
Yeah.
If they can't follow you to your new place, and meet you at your new vibration, maybe they don't, maybe they take a different place in your life now. Maybe they're not front and center.
Right.
Maybe you open up the space for new people who do support you to be front and center.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? What takeaway did you get from today's session?
I realized that the confusion and incompletion of the relationship with my father has been like a virus, limiting my relationship with my love. And I never saw it quite like I did this morning, because the denial was in place. And as the denial was moved away, I could actually see what was hiding in there. And it was very interesting. And I'm very grateful.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Awesome. So what are you going to do with that new realization?
I'm going to continue to explore. I think whenever, money is and passion in our missions or our purpose on earth are all linked. And I've known that for a long time, but now I'm going to go explore the money aspect. I see it in the relationship. I see the limitation. And it never occurred to me that unhealed wound, although God knows I've spent a lifetime trying to heal it, that little roots, the residue of that wounding in early childhood of not feeling safe and not being loved just for being who I was, could affect the financial flow, because I have fits and starts. It comes and then it disappears, and then it comes and then it disappears. And it's an odd, I mean, it's kind of dramatic. So it's a little odd. And I'm going to go explore how that's working right now in the fulfillment of my purpose.
Great, excellent, beautiful.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's see here. We're just about at time. So I just want to, again, invite you, if you're interested in finding out more about this, this new group that I'm going to be starting this month, reach out to me at et@liztobin.com, and we can set up a time. I can, tell you more about it. If you want to stay on the line and make a time to talk now, I can do that as well. So I'm just going to end the recording, and those of you who do not want to set something up today, you can go on your way, go into your day with blessings and new energy for warmth and connection and enjoyment. So thank you, everybody.